Hey, vets and families, welcome to the Therapist Explains VA Mental Health Disability Ratings series. This is your guide to understanding how the VA decides claims for PTSD, anxiety, depression, and other mental health conditions. Listen, if you're a veteran and you're battling PTSD or depression, you know that the fight doesn't end when you hang up the uniform. So I'm approaching this series both as a veteran who's lived it, all of these some of these concerns, and as a trauma focused therapist who has counseled others through it, and I'm still counseling others through these mental health concerns. That means you'll get a unique perspective, a lived experience, and I'll back it with research and clinical insight so that you can navigate your claim with clarity and confidence. Listen, VA mental health ratings are based on 38 CFR 4.130, the general rating formula for mental disorders. It's how your symptoms are translated into percentages ranging from 0 to 100%. And so we'll break down each diagnosis using the DSM-5 TR. This is the same manual that therapists and the VA use to define mental health conditions. I got one right here. You'll see exactly how your symptoms align with VA criteria and how to strengthen your evidence. Every episode that I do is going to include a DSM-5 TR overview of the condition, a research highlight, a proven VA claim strategy, and then some practical steps to help you build a strong evidence-based claim. You can also download my free guide. It's the VA Mental Health Claim Self-Assessment and Decision Tree. This is linked in the description and it's pinned in a comment. This is going to help you organize your symptoms, match them to the VA rating scale, and then prepare for your C&P exam with confidence. If you or another veteran needs immediate help, please call the Veterans Crisis Line at 988 and then simply press 1. You are never alone, and you've got help in this fight for your mental health and for your well-being. I want to be along on the ride and along on the journey with you. So before we start, let me give you a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only. I don't give legal, clinical, or medical advice. Royal Rock Counseling and Consulting LLC is not affiliated with the VA, and we don't prosecute claims. We do help you understand the process and connect you to qualified professionals if necessary. If you find this content helpful, please like it, subscribe it, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps this channel reach more veterans and families who need clear, trustworthy guidance and advice on mental health and VA claims and things that can help their families live well and live well. So thank you to everybody who's already subscribed and commented and shared. You're part of the community helping veterans take back their voice, their health, and their future. So without further ado, let's begin your journey toward a fully developed VA claim that's informed, confident, and empowered. These videos aren't going to be that long, but they will all help you live royally and live well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the series. Okay, vets and families, welcome back. We are now going to talk about VA ratings for obsessive-compulsive disorder. It's Diagnostic Code 9404. And the rating formula obviously is the same as the others. The general rating formula for mental disorders in 38 CFR 4.130. And the rating levels are determined by the severity of social and occupational impairment. These range from 0 to 100%. Your percentage is based on the functional impact of your obsessions and compulsions, especially how much they interfere with daily activities and work. So we switched it up that time. We usually said social impairment and functional, social and occupational functional impairment. But this time we're talking about not only functional impact, but we are also talking about how OCD affects your obsessions and compulsions and how much they interfere with daily activities and work. So what are some of the key features and diagnostics of obsessive compulsive disorder? Well, there's recurrent and persistent thoughts, urges, or images that are intrusive, unwanted, and cause significant anxiety or distress. For example, these are contamination fears, intrusive harm thoughts, those kinds of things. People who are diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder have rituals. These are repetitive behaviors. For example, the excessive washing of the hands, checking locks, arranging things in different orders and back to the other order, or mental acts like counting and praying or rocking. The individual feels driven to perform a response to an obsession according to a rigid set of rules. Okay. Now, the goal for treatment in obsessive compulsive disorders, these compulsions are aimed at preventing or reducing anxiety or a dreaded event. Not to go for treatment, but the compulsion comes to reduce anxiety because it's a coping or soothing strategy for that. But they're often not connected in a realistic way to what they are designed to neutralize. So then the impact of obsessions or compulsions are time consuming. For example, they take more than 1 hour per day. And this is important to make sure that this is connected to or parallel to or matching the DSM-5 TR criteria, or they cause clinically significant distress or impairment in functioning. And this could happen in a military setting as well. It could happen as a result of some of or reaction to stimuli that is stressful in a military environment, whether that be a board ship or in the field or in garrison. Um, Obsessive compulsive disorder has certain effects that are easily describable from DSM-5 TR. Okay, so it's time to check on some scholarly insight for obsessive compulsive disorder, and this comes from McIngvale and Company in 2019. So the claim challenge for OCD is you'll find is similar to the claim challenge for other disorders, but we're going to take a look at it as well. Underdiagnosis, like many mental health conditions, OCD symptoms are often missed or masked by more prominent diagnoses like PTSD or depression, leading to an incomplete VA disability rating. This is a problem that I see so often occurring when filings come in for mental health disorders. Because there's a stigma that everybody in the military is going to have PTSD as a mental health concern, because PTSD really arose out of combat PTSD. And by the way, C-PTSD is not combat PTSD. C-PTSD is complex PTSD. Okay. And there are more studies being done on what that is. But anyway, I think there is a problem with diagnosticians just simply saying that if you were in the military, oh, this person just served combat, so they must have PTSD. But there needs to be a deeper look at what the veteran has actually experienced from a mental health concern, and a realization that just because they're in the military doesn't mean that they are not susceptible to some of the other mental health concerns as the rest of society is susceptible to. So when you see these claim challenges of underdiagnoses, you'll see that they a lot of times arise from a stigma of people just confusing any mental health concern that a veteran might have with PTSD, and that's not the case. So the comorbidity, OCD frequently co-occurs with PTSD. The VA only assigns one mental health rating, making it difficult to ensure your OCD symptoms, which can differ from PTSD, we talked about that, are fully captured and properly weighted in your overall rating. Proving a nexus is a concern. OCD is rarely diagnosed in service. Veterans must often prove secondary service connection, that a service-connected event or condition like combat stress or TBI caused or aggravated the OCD. And there's where the stigma comes. Clinicians are used to looking at a particular type of mental health concern with veterans, and so they may miss the OCD diagnosis unless it's caught in a secondary service connection area. And so, with that, we're going to move right into the first part of the evidence strategy for winning your OCD claim. The key to a favorable decision is to establish those three elements, which we always remind you of as a current diagnosis, an in-service stressor, and a nexus connecting the current diagnosis and the in-service stressor together. Okay, so what you want to do is on the DBQ, you want to do just like we said on most other cases. Make sure that a qualified professional completes a mental health disability benefits questionnaire for OCD, clearly detailing the time consuming nature of your obsessions and obsessional rituals. Okay. And so this might be a log with minutes or the amount of hours or days you spend in obsessive compulsive episodes, or it might represent something else, something observable by a clinician or observable by family, coworkers, and friends, where you spend time actually in obsessions or rituals. The diagnosis must show significant functional impairment caused by the OCD cycle. Okay. Establish the nexus, obtain a strong nexus letter. Y'all know how I feel. But if you decide to do that, this is how you do it, explicitly linking your current OCD to your military service. For example, trauma-related OCD or worsening of a pre-existing condition that was already there. The letter must use the at least as likely as not standard. And you have to have corroborating evidence. That's the last part. Corroborating evidence is lay statements. Use lay statements, buddy letters to vividly describe the obsessional rituals and how they interfere with your routine life. For example, he takes 3 hours to check the locks before leaving the house, or she can't touch anything in the office for fear of contamination. These are observable episodes, observable symptoms that someone can write on your behalf, and these details are essential VA claim evidence. So let's look at the second part of winning your OCD claim, which is the evidence strategy part two. And remember, just much like we did in the last one, we are targeting the rating criteria that's found in 38 CFR 41.30 at the 50% and 70% rating criteria. I won't go over all of them because they're listed in this video. They're listed in the regulation, and they're definitely listed or tied to it in the mental health status assessment that I have available. Make sure you download that because it has this rating criteria in there as well. And that the reason why we won't go into details is because that rating criteria is going to be the same across the board, regardless of which mental health condition that you are claiming or applying for. It's just going to say, does it have this kind of impact on you? Okay. So when you target it, it's the same target for OCD. And an actionable tip is during your C&P exam, focus on the frequency, severity, and duration of your obsession rituals to the degree that you have the capacity to be able to remember what they are and how long they are, and you've actually kept adequate and accurate symptom logs, current, accurate, and complete symptom logs of your behavior. State clearly how the time taken by your rituals. For example, I spend 4 hours a day on checks. Rituals results in inability to maintain a schedule or to hold a job, for example, and this would include occupational impairment. Hey, some families, that'll do it for this video. A huge announcement that I have for all of my subscribers and anybody else who's out there looking for veteran content. I don't want you to miss what's coming in November. Starting on November 1st, I'm going to be doing 30 claims in 30 days. Every single day, I will break down a different VA disability claim, explain the rating criteria, evidence strategies, case law, and insider tips to help you win your claim. Veteran Day live stream, I am going to, on November the 11th, be live streaming from my channel. It'll be the first live stream we've done on this channel. I want you to join me right here. I'll be answering your most common VA claim questions. I'm going to be sharing updates straight from 38 CFR and M21-1, and I'll be taking your questions in real time. Don't forget to download the free mental health assessment and decision tree. It's located in the video description and in the first pinned comment. Thanks for watching, guys. And remember, live royally and live well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you want any more information about the subject of this series, be sure to check out the playlist right here. And remember, live royally and live well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.